Okay, so today we're back for more Flames of War. We have a desert scenario, which doesn't make much sense with the forces arrayed, but we'll figure we're going to play Midwar today anyway. So we're playing 1485 Midwar. So my opponent is playing a Panzer company. He is running with some Panzer 3s. He has some of the anti-tank guns here, some more Panzer 3s. He has a Tiger tank. And he has some Grenadiers over here and some 8-rads for his reconnaissance. On my side for the Russians, I'm playing conscripts today, so I have hordes and hordes of guys. I have a Strelkovy platoon out front. I have some Ziz 3s on the hill. I have another Strelkovy platoon. Both the Strelkovies have reinforced PTRDs and commissars, and I have Ziz 2s that are sitting in ambush. Coming on, I have 120mm and 80mm mortars, 45mm anti-tank guns, and a HMG battalion. We are playing Pincer today. So the Pincer mission is this one here, which is effectively me defending, since I'm an infantry group, and I am defending against the tanks. The tanks need to capture the objectives by turn 6, or break me by company break. And my reserves come in on either side in my deployment zone, hence why it is called Pincer. Reserves are delayed, so we'll be back at the end of Axis turn 1 when my opponent is done setting up. So we're back at the end of turn 1. So what happened on the German turn? Germans deployed with a strong presence up here. They moved forward with all their Panzer 3s and the Tiger and everything, and they put a whole bunch of shots into this infantry over here. With all their firepower, they killed one stand of infantry. Well, they're dug in and he's mainly using machine guns, and the main guns didn't roll very well. He also put some pot shots into these guys back here, into the Ziz 3 guns. They also put a hit, but I got my gun save. On the Russian turn, I called in an airstrike over here, which subsequently got shot down by his anti-air assets. So the I-153 got shot down. I rolled 2 planes. On this side over here, I revealed my ambush of Ziz 2 guns to hopefully counter his tanks. These guys decided to pick up and help the dug-in group over here. These guns stayed dug in, put some shots into the Panzer 3 here, who made a save. And the Ziz 2 guns fired into the Panzer 3s. I ended up rolling 6 hits with AT-11, which was amazing. And I made 1 firepower with the one that actually went through, so my opponent rolled really well for his saves. The 8-rad got killed by the volley-firing PTRDs, so those of you that are unaware, with the version 3 rules, the PTRDs actually get volley fire, which is an interesting mechanic. I'm not quite sure why they... Yeah, it is shenanigans for the price you pay for them. It really is. But no one takes them for some reason. I'm not sure why. So we'll be back at the end of turn 2.
You missed him, right?
Yeah, I missed him. We're back at turn 2.
He's a test.
So Germans held pretty stationary this turn to bombard the dug-in Russians up here. They really needed to remove the Ziz 2 guns on the hill. And as fates would have it, they hit a lot, but my saves are totally on fire, so I only lost 2 Ziz guns, despite being shot by about 15 anti-tank rounds. So very good saves on my guys. Other than that, that was all in the way of casualties for the German side.
Effing horrific turn, Frank.
Yes, to put it bluntly, as my opponent says. So, for the Russians, I don't know what it is. First time playing conscripts, must be conscript beginner's luck. So this turn, these guys did the grand shuffle, and they called in a bombing run, which was back over here.
Germans on attack.
And other than that, they opened fire. So the PTRDs bailed out the 8-rad here. They blew up the anti-tank asset here. Rifles shot a whole bunch of guys in the bushes and did nothing because he saved. The anti-tank guns put 1 shot one kill into the Panzer threes. And then the bombing run hit. I rolled up 3 planes and my opponent only shot 1 down. So I ranged in right on top of here, and I ended up hitting the 2 of the Panzer threes, the command tank, and the Tiger tank. And that could have went really badly because I was shooting rockets at him. So I killed the command tank and he jumped. And other than that, I missed or failed the firepower on the other guys, so I bailed at one guy, and he has remounted on his turn. So we'll be back at the end of turn 3 to see if the Germans can pull out a massive victory. So my opponent's quote is, "I cannot roll shit tonight," so that would describe this turn. Sorry for the explanatives. But, so here's what we have. On my turn, on the German turn, the Germans advanced and launched an assault into the conscripts. He made it through the almost 20 dice of defensive fire, which was amazing, losing no one as he ran in. He killed
20 defensive fires,
a total of 8 stands in that assault, and then failed his motivation after I counterattacked. So I killed 3 in the counterattack, and then he backed out into the trees, which proved his undoing as my conscript rifles ended up killing most of the rest of the group.
Just slaughtered the conscript
It was,
rifles after that.
yeah. Heroic Germans run through a hail of fire and died to the stray bullets. Other than that, I was too close to launch airstrikes. He had put some shells into the Ziz-2s, and I put 10 shots from the PTRDs into the 8-Rad, which bounced off the front armor. And these guys advanced, and the Ziz-2s, which are becoming the star of my game, killed the CO for good this time, and one of his other Panzer 3s. So things are looking not so hot for the Germans. Congratulations for the Russians, but we'll see if the Germans can pull this off again with another heroic assault. At the end of Russian turn 4, what happened? The Germans finally decided that assaulting was their thing, and this Tiger tank came in here, and you'll notice that all those infantry are gone. We went through 6 rounds where the Russians did not hit his tank, so he just, no motivation test, just kept grinding away, and then a lucky conscript rolled a hit and caused him to back out. I can't hurt him, but he failed his motivation. So I lost a bunch of guys there. I made my motivation test. The Russians on my turn, I called in an airstrike on the back tank, failed my dice roll. These guys shuffled up to the middle, and those guys unpinned. Ziz gun put some rounds into the 2IC, and I missed. The PTRD shot at the 8-Rad and missed, and these guys shot at this stand of infantry, which got 1 hit, and he saved. So no death on basically any part for the Russians, and it was a good turn for the Germans. So if they can do this again, at the very least, he'll be able to destroy a conscript horde. So we'll be back at turn 5. Okay, so we're back at the end of turn 5. So what happened this turn? We had the Germans do a general advance up, put his reconnaissance out this side. They annihilated the Ziz gun, finally, getting rid of the thorn in their side. And other than that, it was that was about it for casualties for the German side. They machine gunned some conscripts, which was not enough to stop them. The tank came in and assaulted, grinding out a stand of guys. The PTRDs managed to hit him. He saved, but backed out due to motivation. After that, I got some pity reserves because I failed my 3 dice rolls. So I got the 45mm guns, which came in on that side. Conscripts did a general advance up the center. We had these guys hold their ground and on pin. They did some shooting, so they shot and destroyed that half-track with the AA mount on it. The other conscripts put some rifle shots into this guy, but missed. Ziz guns put a single round into the 8-Rad, which ended up, bailed him out. These 2 guns here shot that tank, which destroyed him. Shot the other tank, which bounced. It came down to a motivation check on the 8-Rad, which he failed, which means that he took off. And then it was a company check on the commander, which he rolled a 3. So he rolled a 3 to motivate with the 8-Rad and a 3 to motivate with the commander. So
2IC.
Yeah, the 2IC. So
the commander
it was
smoldering tank beside him.
Very true. So yeah, it was just not good for dice-wise here. So that's victory for Russia due to company break. If it would have been another turn, it just would have been drawing out the inevitable at this point. We pretty much had agreed. It's just too many guys, and it just would have ground to a bloody halt. So lots of casualties that the Russians took. So tactically, what do I think happened here? I think it came down to poor luck on my opponent's part. The Ziz guns that were sitting up on this hill, they just refused to die. They made like 3/4 of their gun saves on a 5+, and then he failed probably 3/4 of his firepower save, or not firepower rolls.
Killed half my army in points.
Oh yeah, they killed 3 Panzer IIIs and some other things. They were just ridiculously powerful. And they're only 200 points for conscripts, so not being able to get rid of them right away was just did them in.
Dominant. Yeah.
Highlight of our game definitely was the conscript massacre here to the Tiger tank. Ground through about 10 stands of infantry over a whole bunch of rounds of combat. So yeah, it was Tiger tanks are definitely monsters when it comes to mid-war. Just not a lot of assets on the board to deal with them. I mean, even my Ziz guns need he needs ones for me to fail out at long range. So they're kind of ridiculous. The plane, the I-153, was definitely a great bargain buy for limited air support at 120 points with rockets. I mean, you can't go wrong with assets. So my tactic-wise, I can't really fault anything. For my opponent, I can't really say anything different. Better dice, because if he would have made those, he could have came and assaulted much quicker. And conscripts fold very quickly due to tank assaults. The 5+ to hit just does not do it very well.
Commissar even had to put a bullet in a couple
Commissar shot about 2 or 3 stands, which always makes my day as well. So there's a good reason why I play Russians. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back next time for more Flames of War.